Chaos indeed has ensued in Division C. Welcome back. Calling the Audible.
That's it yet, though.
Simone, Peeze, Eagle, GM.
Hey.
We are ready to roll as we are now through 3 weeks of action. Let's dive into what we saw the week that was.
Wait, I got something
Yes.
for Simon Dajne. I love at the end of his Division A and B article last week. He wrote at the end of his introduction, since I'm not Peeze, I don't write pointless introductions. So that is the lament of an uninteresting, terrible, horrible writer in FPF. The only two people who write that, by the way, are you and Francois Martin. So that's the company you're keeping. Just to let you know.
Exclusive company.
But I gotta be nice to you for 3 more weeks. Simon, your article is amazing. It was lovely. It was very insightful. And it was not full of generic sports stuff.
At the same level that what you just said, you're basically Chapman. Oh, I'm so strong that my tie hurts. That's basically
I am
what you just
Chapman.
did.
I
Basically what you just did.
It is what it
That's
is.
a couple of brag.
You become what you hate. Your children.
Speaking of Chapmans, big game this week. Jagerbomb, another come from behind victory over Friends in Low Places. They win 30-26. And I know we spoke about it last week about Dan Demore and his quarterback progression or regression. But Jagerbomb, they continue to do it again. They were down by double-digit points in the second half. They come back. Big pick by Jeff Delos to put them in scoring position for the go-ahead touchdown. And they, once again, proving their worth here. And Simon Duchesne, we talked about being an MVP-like, not quarterback of the year. He is cool as a cucumber, Peasy and Simon. And this team, they have an underrated defense that has proven their worth on third and fourth downs when they need a big stop from them or turnover going their way.
They have a handful of good players, man. They're adding pieces. Simon is everybody here in this room knows him, but not a lot of people in the FPF somehow knows him. He's a very good defender and good possession receiver. And on a team like Jagerbomb, where he doesn't have to do as much as, let's say, his previous teams, he really performs well. And I think that allows other guys like Jeff Delos to also shine, where they don't have to burden as much of a load anymore, and they all play better.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Ego was not paying attention. He just got hit.
By sugar packet. Was that sugar-free or was that a sugar packet?
It's a sugar packet.
Okay, awesome.
The sugar-free ones are yellow.
I'm not very familiar with the sugar packets.
So like I'm actually happy we got to a point where we don't just underestimate Jagerbomb, and then they surprise us every season. Like
Well,
we can finally say now, hey, this team that always goes to the playoffs and is always a contender in the playoffs is good.
But to be fair, if it's week 7 you're 2-5.
This never bothered them at all.
No, it
it
never
doesn't
bothered
Never
them.
bothered
care.
them.
They
That
get
makes
in
no
playoffs.
difference to them.
They don't care. They get in the playoffs. They run a train. But the thing
They
is,
know if they win 4 games, they'll make the playoffs and they're going to cause damage. And now they're already 3-0.
But if
So
it
expect a string of 6 losses.
it looked rather deflating for Friends in Low Places. Like watch them walk out of the field. Like they were up in this game here, 20-6 going to the second half, and they allowed a score of 24-6 going in favor for Jagerbomb, and it felt like their sales got deflated.
Or Simon Duchesne figured them out.
Well, you know what? Simon Duchesne had a tough first half, though. Like a lot of his balls were getting away from him. He threw into coverage, and it just. And then you know what? They are an excellent second half adjustment team, and that's what they proved in this.
They
game.
talk a lot. That's one of the things. Jagerbomb talks a lot between each other, and they tell the receivers and tell the quarterback, "Here's what I see. Here's what we could do." They talk a lot on the field too. That communication is key, and you see that everybody. Okay, I know this will work next.
Yeah.
It's not just like one guy has to figure everything out.
Can I also just note, though, even in the loss, Simon Duchesne is a very difficult quarterback to keep contained. Here, only 2 rushes for 20 yards, and Alex Hollowak got 2 sacks on him. Hollowak.
Yeah, and the thing is, they ran.
But also, like
12 less
Hollowak's
plays.
faster than we give him credit for.
He's also a good rusher.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm highlighting how good a rusher he is that we don't normally talk about it.
I mean, it sounds like you're throwing shade.
yeah.
But like, let's let
I think you
you
are.
Mokan /
Well,
moonwalk your way back
watch
on
out!
it.
Watch out! Watch out! You might get a hate message later.
Probably. Yeah, he's like somehow he's be like, Pete, I heard you were talking shit, even though you said it was a good rusher and fast.
Blue chips.
So no, actually, I got something that's gonna give me hate mail.
Yes.
Is there a number 1 receiver on Friends in Low Places?
No.
Because I like Jared
No.
Buck as a guy who can stretch the field. I like Alex Holloway as
Santillo,
a solid piece.
Santillo might be
Because I like Santillo just for
S-
being
Santillo-
tall.
Physical
yeah,
and posing.
Statistically, he's like their Jimmy Graham red zone
Yeah,
threat, right?
physical.
But
Imposing.
who's the guy who takes over a game?
I think Santillo should be the guy, but he isn't.
But he's like
that's not because he doesn't step up. I think he should get more balls going his way.
because like Jagerbaum have 3 of those guys, and Simon Simon Lehay, JF Delos, and Cedric Knuckle are all guys who are number 1 receivers in Division C.
Mhm.
And Yannick Dotson, like you guys, I know we poke fun at him, but
Well, no, but I
he's
mean,
become-
Dotson is amazing as a number 4 option.
Oh,
I don't think
but-
he's going to be a number 1
No,
option
he's
on
not
any
number
team.
option, but he comes with a clutch catch.
Yeah.
It was 4th down. He made a clutch grab right in front of me, which prolonged the drive, put them in a tie.
But all of Friends in Low Places are Yannick Dotson. Like they don't have a Simon Lehay, they don't have a Jeff Dalloz. You know what I mean? Like they don't have
Knuckle.
a guy but that's what I'm saying. All of these guys are number 1 receivers on Division C team, and I don't feel like Friends in Low Places have that guy.
Okay, so top seasons hammer or outclassed Blue Chips 36-26.
Without Jared Taylor.
Without Jared Taylor, because it was Justin Edwards who went at quarterback. Second time he's gone quarterback for this team here, so perhaps quarterback depth is
They brought in
evidence.
They brought in Kwesi Gordon to play rusher against Jordan Mitchell.
So how impressed
Interesting
are you
decision.
with their game planning of what they did?
It's interesting. I would have stuck with Khalil Kerr as a rusher against Jordan Mitchell, but they decided to go a different route and they brought in Kwesi, and it worked out. Listen, we obviously know nothing because they won by 10 points.
But like,
This is something they may not have come playoff time, though.
yeah.
Well, of course.
The
but
thing
they're
is,
gonna
but you don't
have-
know if you'll
But
play
that
them.
that lends back to your.
But
It
Jared
might have
wasn't
been
there.
better. Yeah, it might have been better to have Khalil rush because he'll probably be the one rushing.
So
Yes.
Jordan Mitchell, the one negative thing I can say about him is in games where he's been shut down by the rusher, he's not the same quarterback, and we see here, he played well, or decently in any case, not well necessarily,
Not
but
in the yards
decently.
department. The yards department were very
Yeah,
good.
and like he did get his way to scoring 2 running touchdowns anyway, but at key moments being shut down by
Kwesi.
Kwesi Gordon Mall, exactly. Sorry guys. But so we see that when he needs to stay in the pocket and make reads, he's still not there yet. He's elite at buying time and great at throwing on a run, but he still, I think, needs to have a set of 3 or 4 plays he can go to when the rusher's getting to him.
I agree with you. I feel like he could be that dual threat quarterback, but he's not actual dual threat. If you take away the running, he looks a bit frazzled. He looks like he doesn't really know what he's like. He doesn't have a leg to stand on, and he just struggles as a pocket passer. Whereas he could become a very good player at both.
The problem is not standing on that leg. If he's standing in the pocket, he won't have that issue.
Here's a fun fact for you. This is the first loss for Blue Chips in 17 games. They had 2 wins to close out their spring 2017 season.
Yeah.
Last year went 8-0-2 in the regular season and won 4 games, including the finals in Division 4B,
Which
and
was the
then won
best
their
game
first
out
2
of the
games.
bunch.
Yes,
right?
it was the best
Yeah.
game out of the bunch, and good catch by the way on the consecutive win streak.
So pretty crazy.
Junkyard Dogs wins over Lobster Dinner 27-12. Jason Rossi.
I'm not really surprised by that. Junkyard Dogs is a good team in Division C that a lot of teams are going to underrate, and Lobster Dinner are lacking firepower.
As
That's
in
always
what?
the case for Lobster Dinner, though.
What-
But yet they
weapons
still
and
end up
offense?
making playoffs.
I'm not
and
saying it's a
flying
bad
under the
team.
radar, yeah.
I'm saying they're lacking firepower to face. These are the type of matchups they will not succeed in.
But what makes, you mentioned Junkyard Dogs, what makes them better now than, and I know look,
roster,
you
man.
don't have Jacob Burnett.
That roster, it's a good roster with less flaws.
So can you expand on and mention actual people
Hensley
that
Adams?
make it
Okay.
better
Hey,
instead of
Roy
just saying
Jan is
the
very
roster?
good. He had-
The last few
The thing that
seasons-
makes them better is they throw the football good.
and catch.
Come on, give me.
last few seasons they were top heavy, so they had guys like they brought in Carmine Pelice, they brought in Jacob Burnett, as you mentioned. They had very strong players as front runners, but the supporting cast was not as strong. This season they have more good players. They're not as good as Jacob Burnett or Carmine Pelice, but they're still good players, and their, let's say, 5th or 6th guy
Mhm.
is better than it was. So
Who
the
are
team
those
is more
5th and
balanced.
6th people, Simon?
Like this season, they added Inslee Adams as a rusher. He's a phenomenal rusher, and last season it's a huge upgrade on defense for them as a rusher. They have Jonathan Williams, who is a
He's played very well for them so far.
He's been playing really well. He's a big dude and he's tough to play against just because of his size.
Yeah.
And he adds that extra depth to what they had before. They had this, I don't remember his name.
Royce Martin,
Who had pick 6?
No, it was
Alexander Noel.
the guy they had before that was replaced by Jonathan Williams. But
Philadelphia.
no, it was like Stefano, I think. Or anyways, but
Alexi?
Chris Brockwell.
Stefan?
Oh my god.
anyways, doesn't matter. Stefan. But anyways, I just feel like the team overall is a better balance. There are more good players and less great and weaker players.
Why did it take me like 3 minutes to get that information out of you? Why can't you just lead with the
I'm
information?
pretty sure that's what I
distraction is
said.
not to
I'm pretty
Simone.
sure
Jesus
that's what I said early,
Christ.
but then you were like, yeah.
No, you didn't. You were like
Okay, but
generic. I mean,
Alright, but-
sorry, Simon, you're wonderful. I love you.
But here's-
You have an amazing smile.
here's the thing, though.
I know,
Lobster
right?
dinner, right? Can they survive with John Brown averaging 124 yards per game passing if
No.
they make playoffs?
No.
Because they got Dirty Dogs, Blue Chips, Bearsons coming up in the next 3 games.
It's not a matter of how he gets it. I think you could stick to a style, but he needs more yards. Like it's not a matter of airing the ball out or whatever. I think
Right.
their offense just
Actually,
needs to be
you
better.
just named a bunch of teams that aren't necessarily like big, high-octane offenses.
Well, no, Dirty Dogs can put up points. Blue Chips can definitely put up points.
they can put
Bearskins-
up points, but they're not putting up like 40, 50, like 30, 40, 50-point games.
Dogs put up 40 in their first game, and they have matchups that, if it goes their way, Lewandowski can exploit that. And Blue Chips, we know about their whole pedigree, right? They
Yep.
can run and
Both
chuck
teams,
that
I
ball.
agree with you, GM.
Blue Chips played against Lobster Dinner, and they kept it to a 6-point game.
Well, that's because he went to slow down offense, so perhaps that's their MO, right?
There
we'll
you
see.
go.
We'll see if that will work this time around, though.
So, but like, and it's annoying because we tied them. No, we lost
We
them.
lost them.
We lost to them. But like, you know what John Brown's gonna run in virtually every situation. And I will say that the ball leaves his hand so quickly, it's tough to adjust. But you know that 7-yard slant is coming all game, and he's the only quarterback I know who throws a 7-yard slant to the outside receiver. But he's remarkably efficient with it. That said, there's going to be teams that are going to jump it, and that's Blue Chips, and they're going to score at least twice on defense.
They're gonna get at least a pick 6 out of
Because
it.
John Brown's not running any of them down.
Okay, so the big news, though, is Don Benevento's injury. He suffered
Yeah.
that in Papineau on Monday,
So I spoke to Dom.
which we'll get to in 2 seconds.
Sure, I'll let you do your thing.
How big of a loss is he for the commission, given that they're off to a great start and he's one of the key players to their defense?
Q and Peeze.
Well, no, answer this question first, and then I'll talk about Dom. That's what he was going
Yes.
for.
You could. Anyways, it's huge. He's one of the 3 key players on that team. Without Dom, they'll need to replace him. They can't just live without him.
And
As you're saying, you spoke to him, though.
well, the thing is, like, so he's a high 70s player, so he's replaceable in that sense. What's difficult to replace is a guy who knows everyone, knows the system, knows what they want to do. He's a huge loss in that way. You can replace him with an equally talented player.
Mhm.
It's hard to replace what he brings to the team specifically, and in such a short season. If it was like an NFL season and this is week 3 and you have 13 more weeks, there's time to
4 weeks
figure it
of
out.
practice and figuring it out. We don't,
Yeah, and then we don't have any of
practice,
that,
right?
so it'll be a big loss for that reason.
So what's the stats from what?
So
you
I spoke to
conversed with?
Dominic
Yes.
Benevento, nicest dude in the world, by the way. If you don't know him,
Yep.
he has, like, when you first see him, you think he's a jerk because he always looks upset. But then when you actually say hi, he's got the biggest smile in the world.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
he and Eagles share the same barber. No, is that true?
When I first met him, actually, he was always there, and I'm like, this fucking guy's always here getting a haircut. And then I started talking to him, and then I realized he played FPF, and now we're like best friends.
So, but like, that's not.
All because of my barber. Thanks,
So
man.
I will say then, the barber that the two of you use, it does a great job on
It's not the
Dom,
barber.
but he's doing a terrible job on you. Like, is it a prank? Like, is this on
Uh,
purpose?
It's not the barber. It's Eagle.
You got that family ties look going on there, Eagle.
So he actually has a grade 2 ankle sprain and will likely be done for the season. He's in a walking boot. Seriously?
That's
Yeah,
not. That's
seriously.
stay classy, Eagle.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
man.
Okay, so he's out for there essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's-
what is the option then for the commission? Do they look for reinforcements because you
They
need
have
5?
to. They have to.
five
They,
to be
they
eligible.
cannot live without him. What he brings to the team is too big for them to just compensate by. Everybody does a bit more. They need another guy. I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll bring someone else in because the way this team is running so far, they cannot make it work without such a key player. You know what was a big game this week? It was a reality check for Vikings. They played the Alpha-Tees.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was like Vikings have been sort of like they were in Division D team. They added Machandre at that point. They moved up to Division C, switched quarterbacks to Nick Jean-Vallée, who was a good quarterback. I think they're on the weaker side of Division C, and this week they look like they were a lower division team playing a higher division team. It was bad. The Alpha-Tees one played 6, and Nick Jean-Vallée had 5 interceptions.
So what I take away from you, it was bad.
I really want to. I was just thinking that exact thing. Like, we need to keep a tally of how many times in a day Simon says, "It was bad."
It was bad.
Very bad.
It was
Speaking of not bad, come up next from the Backyard Bullies, John McQueen. We'll talk to him and ask him, will he end his scoreless streak of touchdowns, which has gone almost 2 seasons plus?
You're gonna ask a defensive player if his scoreless streak of
On
touchdowns.
offense.
Yeah, a defensive player.
What do you want from me?
Today's guests on the Sportira guest line are brought to you by Sportira, the official suppliers of FPF uniforms and jerseys, as well as the home to the Sportira cage. Are you not getting your stats because your jersey is so beat up that the scorekeeper can't read your number? Don't be that guy on the Flag Plus football wall. We all know who you are. And get yourself or your team a fresh new look today by emailing info@sportira.com for quotes and details.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, John.
welcome back, John
How's it
McQueen
going?
now with us. John from the Backyard Bullies. Good evening, good afternoon. How you been, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How you guys doing?
Pretty
We're
good, man.
okay. Simon's in a bad mood.
I'm in a great mood.
Bad.
It was
Good
bad.
moods
It
here.
was bad,
Bad mood.
Backyard Bullies 1 and 2. You guys are in the 8th hole. Tell us your start to the season and what has not gone to expectations for what you guys want to be in this early part of the season.
I think part of it had to do with Rich Humes taking a year off quarterback. Just had to get his rhythm back. Took a couple games, but I think that first win's going to help us. And we'll see where it goes from here.
So essentially, you're saying Rich Hume sucks.
Rich Humes needs to be Rich Humes, and he started doing that last week.
Which is what? To run and be unpredictable with the ability to control it with the pass and run game?
Pretty much. Yeah, like his legs are a big part of his game, and I think everyone knows that. So it kind of stretches the field for us, opens some holes, and I think early on he was trying to go deep a lot too early, just because he wants to get back in that rhythm, and now he's starting to take more what the defense is giving him, and it's kind of stretching the field a bit more for us.
You guys had a pretty good finish against the Commission. You didn't win the game, but you scored on the last play of the game, and then you went for 2, which is the noble thing to do. After score kept in that game, I believed you guys would be like on a hot streak, and then Rich Humes would hit his stride moving into the next game, and like he just being able to score with so many so few plays at the end of the game, and being able to get the momentum going. Why wasn't week 3 as successful as it should have been?
I don't know. I think Moise came out. They played a good game. I thought that we played well. I thought that Rich was moving the ball all game. I don't remember if they had a stop or not. GM can clarify that for me. But we were moving the ball all game. We got some stops on defense, and then towards the end of the game, they got that last touchdown at the end. But I thought that
Which
for the
isn't
most
marked,
part we
by the
played
way.
well.
It shows that we finished.
I'm not sure why it wasn't on either, but
I can explain that, gentlemen. The iPad actually ran out of battery, so we had to go to the old paper pen routes. So we got corrected.
that was the game.
That was the game, yes. So we apologize, John.
oh well, I'm okay with it because it makes our defense look better.
John, the biggest diva on the roster is who?
That's a tough question. I don't know if we really have one. We think
It has to be Avram.
Has to be
Come
Avram.
on.
Well, they dropped Vinny G. So.
he definitely. Sean is definitely the biggest talker on the team, but it's not not a diva like. It's more of an old vet kind of leading us into where we got to go.
How about Princess?
He is old, so there's that.
He's 37, I believe.
But John, having dropped Vinny Galano, do you feel that this benefits you as he cost himself games at the end of last season?
I wouldn't say it benefits us. I think Vinny gets a bad rep, but he definitely does have he has his tendencies where he kind of makes a game about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that overall, Vinny's a great player. It's just he told us he didn't want to play originally, so which is why we made a roster without him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that bringing in Jordan and bringing Steve back and bringing Sean in gave us a nice, balance to our roster. And I think that it's working well for us. And Vinny's having a good year, which I'm happy to see personally because he's a good friend of mine. But I think losing Vinny is definitely a big loss. But I like what we did to kind of fill those holes.
Speaking of nice. Speaking of Vinny, you're playing him week 5. Who's guarding him? I mean, the guy has 10 touchdowns in 2 games.
There's a few guys we can put on him, but it'll be Vinny's definitely the guy that we're going to need to keep an eye on. I don't know if it's going to be one guy specifically because we like to switch up our coverages to throw new looks at every QB, but there'll be a few guys that are definitely going to need to key in on Vinny.
Look at your schedule. Simon made the elaboration of the game against the Bears. You got Vikings this week, Sunday in Lachine. Scans in 2 weeks. You got the Dirty Dogs. You guys don't have an easy schedule. So how do you approach these games coming up here, which could determine if you guys are going to be a top-end seed or maybe a bottom-end seed for the playoffs?
Sorry, Mo. I didn't catch the beginning of the question. It cut out.
You guys, your schedule. Your schedule isn't easy. So how do you approach that with the tough slate of games coming up the next few weeks here? And this is going to determine whether you guys be a top or lower end playoff team.
And for the audience, just to kind of brief them, it's Vikings next week, Bearskins after that. Then we got Dirty Dogs, Junkyard Dogs, a lot of animals, Alpha Tees, Lobster Dinner, and then Game Changers to wrap up the season. So
there's some tough games on that schedule here, Mr. McQueen.
Oh, yeah. I find there's not very many easy games this year, and see if there are any really. But I kind of look at it the way we kind of hung in with Backyard Bruisers a season ago, or last spring, in D, is that we just want to make sure we're playing our best football at the right time. If we do the right things and get the wins throughout the season, just make the playoffs and then go from there. But I think that having that tough schedule does make you battle tested. It makes you ready for playoffs, and it is what it is. We just got to play the team that's in front of us.
He's got the classic hockey answers.
Yeah.
Battle tested.
Oh yeah.
So, Mr. McQueen, it's Peeze again. I wanted to know. You said you started off by saying Rich Humes wasn't himself. Who was he to start the season?
That's a good question.
Who
was he like Cody Kessler?
Who in his life? Who in life in general would you compare him to
Josh
start the season?
McCown, Ryan Tannehill, Carson Palmer.
Could be. He doesn't even be sports. Could be anything.
Why would he be NFL?
You know what? We'll go with. He was looking a lot like Andy Dalton out there at first.
All right. The Ginge.
The red.
The Red Rocket.
No, it's not a rocket. BB
The
gun.
red rocket candy.
The red BB gun.
Yeah.
All right. Before I let you go here, Mr. Jonathan McQueen, here with us on Calling the Audible. Backyard Blues will win this division because of what?
Sticking to what's made us successful. We have a good defense, and we know that we all trust Rich. He's always going to find the right matchup and get us down the field. So if we can make a few stops, put the ball in Rich's hands, and get a lead early, we're not worried about it.
So see you August 5th?
We will.
In the
John,
stands.
I got a last one for you. Would you consider your 40-yard dash fast? And if so, can we start calling you Lightning McQueen?
What type of nickname
Can I
is
say-
that?
From Cars.
Mo has obviously never seen Cars.
No, I didn't.
No.
I watched Pixar.
Kidnap a child, goes to the movie.
I've been called Lightning McQueen by multiple people, so I'm used to it. But I would not consider my 40 speed fast. However, for a person with one knee, it's not so bad.
Are you faster than Sean Avram?
Everyone's
definitely.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
John, thanks so much, my man.
Thanks, Mr. McQueen.
Thanks for having me.
Best
Appreciate
luck
it, Mr.
this
McQueen.
week. Mr.
Thanks,
McQueen
guys.
here with us.
Thanks, Mr. McQueen.
Real hockey answer.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
hockey, from Saskatchewan or something.
I mean, it's a tough expectation to come on the podcast too because we're used to this every week, and so
We're not very
Pinheads.
nice. To
And, no, but the thing is,
Pinheads.
we know, we know everyone in the league, and so, we know we're not really offending, especially when it comes to, Division C, B, A. We're not actually offending anyone except for Alex Hollowak, but, everyone...
Sean Abram.
And Sean Abram, but that's awesome.
Sean's pissed.
But everyone
That's
else, everyone else kind of gets it, and so, the thing is, it's hard to do, it's hard to come in because they don't want to say anything negative either because... they don't want to piss anyone off, but no one's actually ever going to be pissed off when you say anything, right?
The best point of that is during the finals roadshow, Kevin Kuste brought us brownies.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Someone,
Yeah.
he did. Someone who's
What was that?
not
Oh,
quite
you
like
weren't
a
there. You
perennial
weren't there.
pincushion.
Good shingles.
Amazing, by the way.
It was the day you
They
dropped
were
the ball.
amazing, absolutely. Not
The
someone
shingles
who's
or the
a
brownies?
perennial pincushion, but more just someone who we
Yeah.
tend to poke jabs at throughout the season. And it's someone who still, at the end of the day, gets what we do and has fun with
Yeah,
it.
and the thing is also most of the time we won't pick at you if we don't know you, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we it's more of a show of friendship
Unless
and
you're Sean
dudes
Abram.
being dudes.
We don't care.
Yeah.
So that being said, if you're listening and you want us to talk to you, let us know.
Also, if you wanna message us on the Facebook Live, you can do that at any point. We'll read it live, and starting next week, we'll take tally of our picks, and the loser from our picks, we'll send you a free gift. A free gift every week.
Before we get
Glittery
to
gift.
picks of the week here, boys,
You won't
I
enjoy
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
game changers.
Did you see what the gift is, GM?
No.
I'll show you after the show.
Before we get to the picks here, boys, game changers, friends, low places, moist, brocation, all are 0-3. If you had to put confidence points for one of these teams to get out of the hole to be a playoff team, who would it be?
Game changers. The only reason they're 0-3, not 1-2, is because Nick Gauthier got hurt during the game and they finished the game with 5.
Peace.
So, has Anton Sakis's FPF career so
Sakis.
far been a disappointment?
Yeah,
No,
we
that
gave
team,
them.
that team is good, man. Like,
we
who
gave
played
them the
them this
Sports
season?
Illustrated cover of being the next great
No,
quarterback.
but like
in
we
FPF,
like
and he's
when
descending.
first time we saw him, we're like Div 3 now, get him there, go.
It's,
And like he's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, but
you
he
know?
bought into the hype, though. We
Yeah.
hyped him up. We built him up as the next Adonis, and now he looks nothing more than.
No.
a
Yeah,
piece
I
of
mean, he's still
rock.
attractive.
He's a piece of.
Plus, he's still to meet his sister Ella.
I think it's a matter of like he got a job and like
Stop caring so
Realized
much.
he became.
Yeah.
You
You
realize,
factor
hey,
for
listen,
him.
there's more than flag football.
But the other thing is, I will say, Moist has no chance. Like Kirak looks awful.
I-
He
I-
got
That being
hurt
said,
too.
Moist put up 30 on
Yeah,
Bad
that's,
Matt
Bulls.
Kirak
and
got
that's a
hurt
statistical
in
error.
Div,
Yeah, I
Div
know.
A game, so I
Which
don't know
means
what the
but
extent.
the
did you win,
backup
though?
quarterback on Moist, depth-wise, is Craig O'Brien, by the way.
Which is
Time
actually
to go to
upgrade.
your backup.
Does he fit the cap if he plays quarterback?
As long as Matt isn't playing, yes.
Yeah, tell Matt to stay home.
Sorry,
As
Matt.
long
He
as
has
Matt
young
does-
children to take
as long
care
as-
of.
as
Just
long
turned
as Matt
one, by the
doesn't
way.
catch a pass.
Sorry, Matt, you're not playing no more.
I was also going to go with moist because I wanted to try out this sound.
Oh my god.
All right.
That's Moist.
It's now
Still
time
mad at you
for
about the sound
week
board.
of the games.
Week of the games.
Let's go.
Montagnards, friends in low places.
Montagnard bounce back tonight, this
I
week,
think
whatever. Day.
friends low places will come in and win this game.
Give me the Montagnards.
Strangers, Bearskins.
Skins.
Yeah, give me Bearskins, man. They're good. I like Mark Belvedere.
Collision
Gi-
Course.
Oh,
Give
wait.
me Bearskins.
You're not picking today.
I figured you were going to say that too. That's fine. Collision Course. Junkyard Dogs. Alpha Tees.
Give me Tats. Tats look way too good this week.
Tats.
Alphatiz, it's hard to pick against Alphatiz at any time.
They're playing very well.
Deep
Tats.
roster.
Do you want another one?
One
Yes.
more. Let's go for the road.
Dirty Dogs, Lobster Dinner.
Dogs.
The only Dirty
So
Dogs.
he's constipated.
Did you just
Looks
pass
like-
a kidney stone?
Yeah, yeah. So he got constipated. Oh, man.
Dirty Dogs because they'll score with like 3 plays.
All right, thanks, constipation. Peace.
I'm gonna go with the Dirty Dogs, and not the constipation.
Hey, moment.
See how much easier that was.
Moment make his real first joke.
All right,
First road joke?
match words, please.
If anyone's looking for a neighborhood kitty, I haven't found one.
I think it's some X-Lax. Use it.
Chocolate milk. That'll work. I'm lactose intolerant, so if I drink that chocolate
You're
milk,
like a toddler,
I'm lactose intolerant.
lactose intolerant. So like
So
a
if I
toddler.
drink that chocolate milk,
Yo, what happens if a kid's lactose intolerant? Are you like allergic to boobies?
I don't think there's lactose in movies. Not before.
That's a good point.